The Xbox has always struggled in Japan. You've got Nintendo and Sony native to Japan who absolutely crush it, and Xbox has never been able to sneak through and compete with them in all reality in Japan. That's the big question mark. Will Xbox be able to ever compete with the Nintendos and Sonys of the world in Japan? I think they will be. And I actually think this news story here, 600,000 Xbox Series X and S sales in Japan, is a sign of that. I think it's a long-term play. You're not going to see it anytime soon. Not going to see it in the next year, the next 2, the next 3, maybe in the next 5 to 10 years. I think you see Xbox really start to make movements. But I do think this is an upward trend for Xbox. And I think that's what's more important here, or more interesting about this news story, is that Xbox is trending upward. The hard work by Xbox and Phil Spencer to currently work on and develop these Japanese relationships. The Xbox 360 did okay. Like 1.5 million units sold in Japan. Now, compared to the Nintendo and Sony, that's nothing, but that was Xbox's best showing. The Xbox One did nothing in Japan. Literally nothing. The Xbox One really had struggles, everywhere. Then Phil Spencer came in and really pushed hard to right the ship there. And now we're moving in a completely different direction with gaming. And I do think long-term, now when I say long-term, I don't mean the next 1 year and 2 years, 3 years. I think 5 to 10 years, Xbox really gets a solid foothold in Japan. I think Game Pass is going to be a huge part of that. I think a portable gaming device is going to be a huge part of that. Japanese consumers are phone gamers. They're portable gamers. That's why the Nintendo Switch does so well. It just absolutely dominates in Japan. I think is because of that. And I think Game Pass fits right into that mold and model really well. So let's look at this news article at purexbox.com. I think there are 3 reasons Xbox is trending upward. I think we got affordability, popularity, and I think relationship building is what we're seeing there primarily. But let's read through this here. This is purexbox.com. Xbox Series X and S appears to have passed 600,000 sales in Japan, with Series S leading the way. This is by our main man, Fraser Gilbert. Go check them out, purexbox.com. Also, before we jump into this, guys, if you like what we're doing here, you like news stories like this, you like YouTube channels where we cover all things gaming and Xbox all the time right here, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel, and let's jump into it. It's not very often that we get updates on the sales figures for Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S. After all, Microsoft hasn't officially shared them in years. But courtesy of Famitsu, it looks like they've reached a new milestone in Japan. The Japanese outlet is reporting this week that the 2 Xbox consoles have reached around 600,000 sales in total, with the Xbox Series S leading the way, 315,431 units. Keep in mind, these are described as estimated figures. So the X is 285, the S is 315,000. Now, if you look at the PS5, it's got more than 5 million sales, and the Nintendo Switch has 30 million. The Nintendo Switch just dominates for a couple reasons. I think price point and portability, and I think Xbox is headed in that direction. I think Game Pass fits that perfectly. But the Nintendo Switch, 30 million lifetime sales. So if you look at the PS5, 5 million, Nintendo Switch, 30 million lifetime sales. The above figures obviously make for a disappointing reading, although it's worth noting that Microsoft only sold just over 100K Xbox One consoles during that console's entire lifespan. So this is the part that I'm talking about. We're looking at the trend. Obviously, you're not going to turn around and immediately overnight sell more than PlayStation 5 or even come close to the Nintendo Switch. No. That's going to take time. The question is, what direction is Xbox trending? Now, with the Xbox One compared to the Xbox 360, clearly it just tanked. It was trending downward, but it looks like we're trending upward again. 100,000 Xbox One consoles in Japan during the console's entire lifespan, and we're already at 600,000. So Xbox is doing times 6. The Xbox 360 ended up finishing with around 1.6 million sales. That was the 360. Right now, based on where we're at years-wise, how long the Xbox Series X and S have been out, we're sitting at 600,000. I think it feels like we're on pace to beat that 1.6 million sales, but we'll see for sure. This latest generation has been a big improvement compared to the last, but obviously there's still a lot more work to be done in Japan from the Xbox perspective. That is, of course, unless Microsoft feels it's no longer worth prioritizing. I don't think that is at all. I don't think that's the signal that Phil Spencer has said. I think Phil Spencer has said Japan is a key market for us. Definitely with the relationships they've been building over in Japan with companies like Square Enix, for instance, Square Enix showing up on their stage, or Phil Spencer showing up on Square Enix stage, and vice versa. I think Microsoft is serious about Japan. I think they have to be. I think Japan developers are creating some of the best gaming content out there right now. I think Japanese teams are doing some of the best things in gaming at the moment, some of the most interesting things in gaming at the moment. And I think you have to be there. I think they're the epicenter of gaming as far as creativity, taking chances, taking risk, and just creating premium content that way. And it does seem like Phil Spencer's creating those relationships. And I think that that's what's helping to drive this success. What's interesting is the Xbox Series S is leading the way. I think it's because of its compact nature. It's small. It looks good. It's white. It's also the cheapest one. I think that's probably a priority of what Japanese consumers want. Again, I don't think it's a coincidence that the Nintendo Switch, a portable gaming device, has 30 million plus lifetime sales over there. And I think Game Pass fits into this portability idea in the long term, right? I think the library, the value offered by Game Pass has boosted the console's appeal overall, but I think even longer term, especially if we go portable, now we know the PlayStation is going portable as well, but you combine portability with the Xbox Game Pass, and I think Xbox can really cut out a good share of the market in Japan for themselves. I then think the affordability of the Series S, which is why it's beating out the Series X, although not by much, but I do think that lower price point is key. I think price point going forward is going to be key, which is why I think, again, Game Pass is going to do pretty decent there. Question: do you think Xbox will ever be able to compete in the Japanese market? Or is it a pipe dream at this point? I think they can. I think Game Pass is a part of that. But let me know. I could be wrong. Maybe they never do. Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button. Share this video with your friends. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.